Hi guys, I just wanted to do kind of a quick energy update. We're almost halfway through December, and I think that this is a good opportunity to catch up and see what's up. Like, we just got out of Mercury retrograde shadow, and I don't know about you guys, but Mercury retrograde hit like hard this time around. Last time that it was this strong. I'm trying to like think of which word would be appropriate, but last time that it was this strong was like the summer of 2017 for me. And I feel like as a collective and basically as a collective, we're going through a lot of changes and a lot of transformations. And I feel like they're happening for a reason and there is timing to it. Like for example, with all of those changes that are happening in your life, I feel like a lot of us have been dealing with bigger issues, like within our family, within our relationships, in regards to relationships, like yes, our friendships, but also our romantic relationships, and going through changes, having that transformative moment. And I feel like most of us, like we knew in our hearts what was going to happen. And it's almost like our body was letting us know something is happening. Like our body was letting us know the resistance that we feel towards it because we either wanted to deny it or we felt like, yes, this is a possibility, but like I really, really, really don't want it to happen. And then now all shit has gone crazy and now it's like happening and you're just like, what the fuck? So I'm right there with you. It's happening in my life as well, and a lot of my friends' lives as well. So I feel like all of these things are popping up and giving you triggers as well because our new year is going to be here soon. Like I feel like there is power in that synchronicity of it happening before the New Year's. Or whatever events or people are happening, or whatever people are leaving your life or entering your life. Like I really feel like there is a big connection to it happening now, so that whenever you're setting up your goals or whatever, for whether it is for 2020 or for the entire decade, you are equipped and you have already let go of things that need to be let go. So anyway, yeah, so I feel like we're dealing with this, and I feel like right now it's extremely difficult for us to see the power in this or the reasoning in this, because at the end of the day, we're people. So yeah, I'm gonna be like, what the hell? Why is this happening? Like, I didn't want it to happen. Or, thinking of 10 different ways that this could have gone that clearly it didn't, and then it went the way you didn't necessarily want it to go. So I feel like we are struggling with seeing the bigger picture. And by the way, I'm there with you guys. Seriously, like I completely get it. Because there is this idea, for example, like I like to practice focusing on the now moment, on being in the present moment. And it has really been a very powerful thing for me to work with, to overcome like depression and anxiety, is focusing on the present moment, working with my breath and whatnot. However, sometimes at the present moment sucks, and you're just like, do you really want me to focus on the present moment? Because I'm not a fan of what's going on. So, in those moments, that's when, we want to have that bigger picture perspective, which is difficult, especially if you are practicing the now moment. Having that bigger perspective, and again, while it might be difficult to go through or to even understand, like I feel like within the next couple of months, I feel exactly like one of the downloads that I received was that within 4 months, it's the puzzles will come together. Within 4 months, you will have an idea as to what's happening and why it's happening right now. So what has, again, in 4 months, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is like, this needed to occur for me to be in this moment with whatever opportunity or whatever person. So I feel like that's really cool. And then I feel like the Mercury retrograde especially, it definitely brought up like my own shadow aspect. And it just, again, it was a lot of like self-discovery and seeing why the triggers are triggering me, essentially. Which, by the way, is never fun. Because a lot of the things, once you start like going within and spending time meditating and asking yourself specific questions, like that's the time when you're just like, probably some from my childhood, and then you figure out all the situations and you're just like, what the hell, why am I not over this? Like, I thought I was over it. And sometimes it might be not because of your childhood, obviously, but I feel like a lot of the things that I experience is because of it. Like, that's the core or the root issue. So I'm gonna give you all an example so you're not like, what the fuck is she talking about? But for example, during Mercury retrograde, I continuously got triggered with a negative emotion. So essentially what would have happened is somebody would mention a person and like what he's doing or whatever, like, oh, whether it's like, oh, well, now he's like going out with this person or just anything about that. And so because I was there, like that really triggered me to the point where I was feeling like legit anger inside of me of just like, are you kidding me? Like, what? And because of the past events that have happened, obviously. However, like I would be feeling anger and I wouldn't let it out. Like the people around me had no idea that I was feeling that way, obviously, because I didn't want to put that on them. And was something that like I knew I had to deal with. But like it literally, like it would make me, like I would go home and I would just, my soul would be so heavy. And I started asking myself questions like, okay, why am I getting triggered right now? Like, what is it that, like, what emotion is behind this? Like, okay, yeah, I'm angry, but like, why am I angry? So for me, for example, the big issues are not feeling worthy and abandonment. I feel like those two things, and rejection, but that kind of goes along with both of them, I guess. But those are two areas that like I really struggle with. Not to say that, you know, like I'm abandoned by everyone, I have low self-worth, but there's moments where like I literally will get triggered, or there will be events that occur and it triggers me to have like to question my own worth, you know, and to see how fast people like can walk away and move on. Like that all ties to me having, again, issues from so many years ago. However, prior to this Mercury retrograde, I didn't really realize it. Like I would have those feelings, but I didn't dig deeper. And I was talking with one of my friends actually about that, because I was just like, I don't know, like what the fuck do I need to do? Like, am I supposed to light a white candle? Like, is there an affirmation? Like, I just want to snap out of it. And she reminded me that, you know, I have to go within. And so I did, and it sucked. It was good in the long run, but it definitely like, yeah, it's just a little bit difficult for me to figure that out. So, but again, like that is that shadow work, and that was me accepting the fact that like right now I'm feeling this anger due to me feeling abandoned or whatever issue that has come up, and then realizing like, okay, it's okay for me to feel it. And I feel like that's the big thing for right now, for the energy that's going on, is like, whatever it is that you are going through, whatever situation that might be, whatever event, whatever person, like anything, feel it. Even if it sucks. Like, and I know that in the moments when it sucks, you're just like, I don't want to feel it. Like, I want to run away. I want to do things that are going to distract me. And there's time and place for it. But I feel like right now, we are so almost like numb to our own emotional selves. Not necessarily towards others, but our own emotions, we tend to numb them. And that only messes us up. And I feel like right now we need to feel it, because 2020 is coming up. That's a new year, again, new decade. You don't want to be bringing the baggage that you're dealing with now. And if you feel it, if you go through that emotion and actually feel like, what the hell is happening in my life, that's taking a step closer to you releasing it, to you cutting cords with it, to you realizing like, this is not aligned with me and the life I want to live. And I need to, whether that is let that go, whatever. And again, like, it's always easier said than done. Come on. But this is really important. So again, as far as the energy, especially of the collective, I feel like the rest of December is going to focus, it's going to push you to feel even more and go through that emotion and meditate on it and think about it. Like, okay, why am I feeling this way though? Like, and the reason, like, you might be feeling like you're in financial struggle, for example, and you're like, okay, why am I feeling this way? Sometimes the answer is like, because your bank account says you have $4, like, and it's okay. Feel it, release it, like, acknowledge it without judgment, feel it without judgment. If you need to cry, if you need to go to a boxing class and punch the shit out of something, like, release it however you need to, but actually feeling it in the moment is going to help you with that release. Because when you just are just like, oh, I'm going to release it, but you never even felt the situation, that's like, what are you releasing? Like, just the suckiness of it? That suckiness is going to come back with you, to you, pushing you again to go and explore the reasoning behind that emotion. So I feel like prior to like January 1st, 2020, really a lot of transformation, a lot of things popping up that are changing. And because we're human, usually during the change, we're not necessarily fans of it. So again, acknowledge it, feel that feeling, let that go, let it be a release so that you can get rid of it before the new year comes. So it's important. Like, it literally is important for you to release it. So, yeah, I feel like those are the main messages that I got. But just feel it. Feel the emotions that you need to feel. Feel your own. Feel the emotions that you feel that you don't want to talk to anyone about. Feel them. And you can feel them alone, or you can feel them with someone else, but feel them and don't be afraid to face them, because it will get you closer to that point of release and to that point of starting over again, beginning new, and having space to hold the new adventures, the new people, the new situations, because the old ones won't be there anymore. So anyway, I love y'all. Thank you for watching my videos. There will be a lot more coming up, so stay tuned.